Good morning, everybody. So I didn't vlog yesterday. I don't vlog every day. I'm just gonna let you know that now. Oh, hello. Hi. Hi, Zowie. I didn't mean to kick you. I didn't see you behind me. Hi, honey. I know. Hey, sweetheart. Hi, mamas. Okay, that was cute. Anyway, I don't vlog every day. That's not something that I want to do. My life isn't that interesting to vlog every day. So, this kitty is legit following me everywhere. Pretty much yesterday, I've been having problems with my rotors, and I was like, okay, I'll buy the rotors. I'll get them, my dad can fix it. It's fine. So I bought the rotors. I bought them late because I didn't have the money to buy rotors. And my car was stuttering. I'm trying to look for the cat. My car was stuttering, which, for those of you that don't know, that's not a good thing. Your car's not supposed to go like this when you hit your brake. It's not supposed to do that. It's supposed to slowly come to a stop. That's what your car's supposed to do. My car was not doing that. But I didn't think it was that big of a deal. I went about my days and was like, hey, Dad, can we work on the rotors? And he said, yep, we can work on them Friday. Well, yesterday was Tuesday, and pretty much I went to go stop at a red light, and I was a pretty good distance away. And it was a yellow light. I'm like, I'm not going to make it. I'll hit my brake. Had my brake all the way down to the floor. My car was not stopping. It was still going. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to get in an accident because this car is not stopping. This car does not want to stop. So the car stopped in the middle of the intersection, and I am so happy that the person behind me let me back up and that the people that were to the sides let me back up, because I wasn't intentionally trying to do it. I wasn't on my phone. I wasn't anything. I was literally trying to hit my brake, and it was not working. So finally, I get off the exit because I have to go onto the highway. And I'm like, I'm not doing 65 with my car not braking. I'm not attempting that. So pretty much I sat on the side of the road and I cried. I cried for a good 20 minutes. I was a mess. It was more like 22 minutes because I had called my mom, and I called her. I was like, I don't know what to do. I'm not driving this thing right now. I don't have money to get it towed. I need help. I don't know what to do. So she called my dad, and my dad was somewhere else, but he was about an hour away from where I was. So I'm like, okay, but I don't know how I'm going to get home. I don't know how I'm going to get my car off the side of the road. So what ended up happening was we waited for my dad to get there. He drove my car up to a mall parking lot. It was like the way back of the parking lot. And we let my car sit there. I took the keys. We locked the doors. There's nothing to steal in my car. And my mom drove me home. We drove my dad back to get his truck because he left it on the side of the road. And he went back because he had an appointment he had to go to. And we didn't get back to it till about maybe 7 o'clock. And he took, my wheel off and looked at my rotors and saw that the rotor on the driver's side was actually not that bad. My pads were still fine. They were still pretty much when we bought them. I just literally put them on. So there was nothing wrong there. But we still replaced the rotor. After that, we put that back together, and then we went to the passenger side. So the passenger side one, we took the wheel off. We got where we need to go, and my dad looked at it, and he didn't take the rotor off yet, but when he looked at it, he's like, it looks like it's cracked. I'm like, okay, it's a good thing I have rotors then. He took it off, and I'm going to post the picture that I have. It looked disgusting. It literally was so bad that you could see where the spotting is where it wasn't catching. So my rotors are replaced, and that rotor ate, like chewed on one of my brake pads. It still had padding left, but there was very little padding. And I'm like, well, now I gotta go get brake pads. And then my dad taught me something that day. He said, do you have your old brake pads that we took off? I said, yeah, they're in my trunk. Literally using an old brake pad that was still pretty good, that still had a bunch of padding on it, saved the day. Okay, it legit saved my wallet because I was gonna have to spend $20 more. It legit saved. It saved me. So I'm telling all you guys out there, if you ever have to replace a part and it's still good, you know, like brake pads, if there's still some padding on it, save your old brake pads. You never know when you're gonna need it. You never know when you're going to need a brake pad.
Right, so we got some scrambled eggs with some salsa, we got some bacon, we got some toast, we have my coffee, which has a little bit of Lady Boss lean in it. Girl, welcome to breakfast.
Okay, so we're going to talk about GTS for just a second, because there's probably some of you that have no idea what GTS is. There's some of you that probably do. Just short, sweet, and to the point, GTS is a YouTube wrestling show that has been going on for years, and some of it's pretty good. I'm going to give my honest opinion right now. Back when they were in Super Graham's yard, which was, gosh, 2 years ago, maybe not even. I think it was more than 2 years ago. That's when I started watching GTS. And it was a really, really fun show to watch. You would see all this hardcore stuff. They would be jumping from trees. They would have the titles hooked up to the tree. They would do a lot of stuff in that backyard. And it was so much fun. Now, you have some of these new guys. What they used to do was they were in Super Graham's backyard. Then they went to one warehouse. Then they went to another. And now they're back in a backyard. Which I guess isn't a total bad thing, but I mean, you were progressing, and now you're back down again, which I don't think is very good in my opinion, so. And I don't have that many favorite wrestlers. I really don't. The new guys I don't like. I will be completely 100% honest with you. I do not like them as wrestlers. I'm sure they're perfectly fine as everyday people. But as wrestlers, they're not good. There's barely anyone I like on the new roster. On the old roster, you know, there were some people that I liked, but not very many. I just like watching them, like, wrestle, like I used to do with WWE. Don't watch WWE anymore either. Doesn't mean I'm not a fan of wrestling, because I still am. It's just, I like watching the old school wrestling, the Attitude Era, back when you had WCW and ECW and stuff like that. You know, that was what I liked. And I don't know about anybody else, but those were the favorite times to be a wrestler. Now, there's only one person that I like on the GTS roster, and that's Ace Marksman. That's about it. Grimm is okay, I guess. I mean, I understand why he gives himself so many titles, but it is what it is. It's his show. He can do what he wants with it. But yeah, the one thing I don't like is that these wrestlers who only come maybe a couple times out of the year, and then, oh, here's a title. Why? They don't deserve it. They haven't been there. They don't deserve a title shot. So you should really give title shots to the people who show up constantly, who are improving, who really do show that this is what they want. I don't understand why you're not pushing these guys. You know what I mean? Like, there are some people that have a funny gimmick, you know, which is okay. You know, you can always have funny gimmicks every now and then. But I mean, I stopped watching GTS. I still watch it from time to time, but I mean, I don't watch it very much anymore. It just becomes like, repetitive, especially with the whole clown thing. I was over it. I was fine the first time that you know, I saw it, the first time I saw it, which was at the warehouse. You know, I was perfectly fine with that. I was like, oh my gosh, there's these clowns running around. But then it happened again this time, and I'm like, all right, we did this already. You know, let's do something else. Let's do something different, you know, instead of clowns, maybe, you know, you have something else. And then he came up with this whole Terminator idea, which I personally didn't like. I don't know about you guys. You guys may have liked it. I personally didn't care for it. But that's just what I think. That's my personal opinion. There are some guys that actually are good at what they do, or they're improving, which is something that you definitely want to have happen. Like I mentioned before, Ace Marksman, you know, he definitely works hard. You know, and you can tell that when he gets in the ring all the time. You know, he definitely works hard, and he does what he needs to do to get the job done, whether win or lose. You know, he gets in there, he puts in his all, which is what every wrestler should do, and walks out. There are some guys, there's one in particular that I can go on a rant about. I probably will. We'll probably make this a GTS vlog rant type thing. But there are some that I literally would love to punch in the face, and there are others that I'm like, you know what, we're cool. You know, you're actually not too bad. But let's talk about the one that I cannot stand. So the person that I cannot stand at all, and I'm glad he's gone, is Dalton. Now, I made a post on Twitter about it months ago. When the whole cage match happened on GTS, he brought in light tubes when he wasn't supposed to. You know, he was doing all of these dangerous things. And then I went on Patreon, and I watched the aftermath of that. And I personally think Ace Marksman should have hit him a lot harder. I personally think that. And then he was like, well, should I bring him back? Here's my idea, and I'm glad he didn't. I honestly would have fired him right then and there. Because right there, and he apologized at the end, but we'll get to that in a second. He came out of the ring, okay, on the aftermath. He came out of the ring, and he said something snarky, okay? Right then and there, he should have been done. No. He did something dangerous in there. Something that was not talked about, which was bringing light tubes into the match. They all agreed, no light tubes. Don't do it. No light tubes. No one wants to wrestle on glass. Do not bring in the light tubes. What does Dalton do? Oh, he brings in light tubes. Great. Love it. There's a fly there. Anyway, he brings in light tubes, and he hits Shamar with them. I'm surprised Shamar didn't kill him, because I would have. Like, his apology, I didn't believe. I didn't believe his apology. His apology was so bad. He's like, oh, I didn't mean to bring in light tubes, guys. He was going like this the whole time. Honey, I don't believe you. I don't. Okay? Like, yes, this was a while ago, and I'm ranting about it now because it still bugs me. Okay? He should have been fired right then and there because he was egotistical. He let his anger get the better of him, which is not good in a match. You do not do that. Okay? Doesn't matter if you have beef with the person. Like, actual beef with them. Doesn't matter. You don't shoot with light tubes. Like Grim explained, you do not shoot with light tubes. You don't shoot with barbed wire. You don't shoot with any of it. Sorry, I have a cold. You don't shoot with something that could potentially be dangerous to somebody. You don't. Yeah, you throw a punch or you slap the person. You know, those are shoots. You know, if you want to shoot, those are things you do. But you don't go in and shoot with light tubes. He goes over and he's like, oh, I didn't know what I was doing. I don't believe that. You knew exactly what you were doing when you picked up those light tubes. He needs to get his ego in check. Okay? He needs to grow up. Okay? And he needs to get his anger under control. So, that's my whole rant on Dalton. Like, I don't want to talk about him ever again. I don't want to bring up his name ever again. But let me know what you guys think of GTS then and GTS now. Alright, you guys, so little update on today. It's been, I think, maybe 2-3 hours since the last time I used my phone. So we did the whole GTS rant. So I think I'm just gonna end the video. I did a little bit of editing and it's almost at 20 minutes, so I'm just gonna end the video. I hope you guys really enjoyed. But on Friday, I will be getting that 28-day stuff, so it was in the budget, so we're all set. Anyway, guys, I will see you guys in the next video, which will possibly be me ordering the stuff and me walking around. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!